Good morning. Welcome to our daily devotion. This is our devotion for Thursday, September 29th, as we continue to look at the parable of the talents. Our reading today comes from Luke 19 as we look at unfaithful stewardship. Then another servant came saying, "Lord, here's your mina, which I kept laid away in a handkerchief, for I was afraid of you, because you are a severe man. You take what you did not deposit and reap what you did not sow." He said to him, "I will condemn you with your own words, you wicked servant. You knew that I was a severe man, taking what I did not deposit and reaping what I didn't sow. Why then did you not put my money in a bank, and at my coming I might at least have collected interest?" This reading reminds me of one of my favorite Jerry Seinfeld bits, because I've experienced what he was experiencing. He's at a car rental counter going to pick up the car that he reserved. And they don't have a car. And he's like, "How do you not have a car?" She said, "Well, right here I have your reservation." And he says, "That's really the easy part. Taking the reservation. Anybody can take a reservation. It doesn't take any planning to take a reservation." He's really ticked because they took a reservation, but there's no car. He said, keeping the reservation, holding the reservation. That's the hard part of a reservation. You see, taking the gifts from God, receiving those gifts from God, that's actually the easy part. And this servant took the minas from the master. He had no problem with that. But then fear set in. And that fear crippled him. So in his mind, he knew that the master expected results, but the fear in his mind crippled him. He knew that the master had given him these gifts, and he knew that results were expected, but his fear crippled him. How many of us experience that? God has given us gifts, but we are afraid to use them. We're afraid to use them because we might do something wrong. We're afraid to use them because we might offend somebody, or we might make somebody uncomfortable. We're afraid to use them because we're afraid we might lose something. We might lose social standing. We might lose our place at work. We're afraid to use the gifts God has given us because we're afraid that we might lose something. And in our fear, we miss out on amazing gifts. The parable refers to the master as being severe. I think sometimes within our culture we look at God as being severe, don't we? Why can't God just let everybody into heaven? Why can't God just do this? Why can't God just do that? Because God cannot tolerate sinful rebellion. By rights, we should all be separated from God for all of eternity. Because by rights, we've taken the life that we have been given by God, and we've, in many, many ways, wasted it, haven't we? We don't honor Him with all of our heart, soul, and mind. We worship other things over and above Him. Things that He created, we worship as more important than Him. In a lot of ways, we are all this wicked servant. But you see, God, in His rich mercy, comes and restores us anyway, doesn't He? While God has a standard and He says the price needs to be paid, He pays the price. That severe master that seeks to hold people accountable is being the accountability for us. He doesn't abandon us because we fail to follow Him, does He? No. He comes after us. He is the shepherd looking after the lost sheep. So while in the parable we have this man being cast, we have this man having his stuff taken away, which I will say is a warning that this parable has, that as God has given you gifts, He has called you to use them. Don't let fear of failure stop you from using them. Because God has promised to be with you. He's given you the gifts. He's given you His direction. He's ready to be a resource to you so that you can follow His direction and use His gifts to accomplish His goal. Don't be afraid to use those gifts. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for the gifts that you give us. We know Satan often tempts us not to use them for a variety of reasons, Lord, and we would ask you to work in our lives so that we can use the time, talents, and treasures you've given us to honor you without fear, without worry, and trust in the power of your word. Lord, in your Son's name we ask all these things. Amen. You guys have a great day. I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.